So I've already tried making a video on this, but all the files got corrupted. Then I tried making another video on it, and half of those got corrupted, not enough to fix it. So, third time's the charm, alright? Spoiler warning. Do not watch this video if you've not seen Avengers Infinity War. The video does contain spoilers if you have not seen the movie, and I do not wish for you to be spoiled in any way. You should go watch the movie before you watch this video. There is a non-spoiler review down in the description below if you want to know about the movie before you go and see it. Thank you, and enjoy the movie and/or video. So, I absolutely love the movie. There was a lot of things that I really enjoyed about it. It was one of those movies that when you sit down and you start watching it, you're glued to it the entire time. By the end, you're sitting there and you're like, wait, I want more. What? That can't be it. And it's just spectacular. Everything comes to a close perfectly, in my opinion, only because it's setting up that part 2, the unnamed Avengers movie coming out in 2019. Now, I don't believe that the movie was perfect. I don't believe that there's any perfect movie out there, and if there was any, Perks Being Wallflower comes very close, but that's another story for another time. My first chief complaint would be, I thought Thanos got the stones way too quickly. One of the theories that I heard and I really liked going into the movie was that Thanos would get 3, maybe 4 of the stones, and the last 2 would be the fighting, trying to make it, and trying to prevent him from getting those. But it seemed like once he got the first and second stones, he just kind of dominated and obliterated the rest. But at the same time, that's kind of how I would assume it would happen after the fact. Like, you have the Power Stone, you have ultimate power of the entire universe. You have the Reality Stone, you can change all the reality in the universe. You have the Mind Stone, you can take over any mind in the universe. It makes it easier when you have one of the Infinity Stones, and only having other Infinity Stones would be able to stop him. So 3, he has half the universe to his disposal. Another thing I like about movies is I like watching the character development, the production quality and all of that, and I don't really want to get too far into the character development of this because the past 18 movies has been character development. I really like the bond that grew between Scarlet Witch and Vision, and they kind of moved on from that, oh, they kind of like each other, to, no, they have a full-blown relationship now. I do like how Hulk got his butt beat by Thanos. Just obliterated. From that, Hulk was scared. Hulk actually got scared. I like how in the MCU they're kind of giving Hulk this more humanized characteristic, because you kind of see Bruce Banner and the Hulk becoming more and more like each other, and that's why they work so well together now. But before we continue on with the plot and the characters and all that, I just want to point out a couple of CGI things that I can explain now, but they could have been done a little better. One of the CGI errors I noticed was when Thor was laying on the ground and Thanos picks him up and lifts him up. It almost looks like Thor kind of grabs for the hand, but his hands don't really grab anywhere comfortable on Thanos. Doesn't grab anywhere that would seem like Thor was trying to prevent anything from happening. And I didn't really like that. It definitely showed that Thor was probably picked up by some animatronic thing, and that's what made it where he just had to grab at nothing, and they were going to add it in later. I just didn't like the way that it looked. The second CGI thing that I noticed was the first time in the movie that you see Tony Stark go full Iron Man, he's wearing his glasses that I think are totally rad, but the glasses are kind of like the face screen on the Iron Man suit, where you could talk and it reacts. It's like it's like Google Glass, but they're full-on glasses, and I thought they were rad. But when he goes to go full Iron Man, everything starts spreading out from his chest, and he goes and he reaches up and he grabs. But when he takes his hand down, they disappear. I want to say that the correction to that, or if anybody else has that question, is the glasses themselves were also made out of the microbots, and they just kind of formed into a suit with him. Because not only would that make it even more cool, it's very feasible to be done like that. Now, a couple of my friends and I, on this third thing, mainly agree. We didn't like the fact that most of the new superheroes are the ones that died. Like, seriously? T'Challa died. Scarlet Witch died. Gamora, just about all of the Guardians except for Rocket Raccoon died. It's the original Avengers again and Rocket Raccoon. Like, seriously. You ever look at who died and who didn't? I feel like this is setting up for a really good soul exchange opportunity. Like, most of those souls that were taken are in the Soul Stone still. And a lot of the old Avengers, as they're kind of putting up their capes, going away, the actors don't want to play the parts anymore. They're going to sacrifice themselves to bring back these other people. Tony Stark and Spider-Man. Let me move on to Spider-Man for a second. Spider-Man was the worst death. I recently found out the entire death scene for Spider-Man was improvised by Tom Holland. That's insane. Comment down below if it's on the record or off the record. But I'm gonna go and say what this one theorist kind of came up with, and then another theorist kind of came up with, and I'm putting the two together. The reason that Tom Holland or Spider-Man's death was so prolonged was because, one, Spider-Man knew it was coming. Spider-Man had spider sense. He knew that he was going to die. He knew that he was going away. And that's why he utters the line, "Mr. Stark, I don't feel so good." It's because he feels his body disintegrating before it even started disintegrating. He was still fine. And he caught it moments in advance, like long moments. So when he felt himself finally start dying, he was like, I don't want to go. I really don't. And that's what's heartbreaking. But why did his death last even longer? Even the disintegration part lasted so much longer than Bucky just kind of fell over. Some of the others were running and just nothing. Why did his last so much longer? The other reason I think Spider-Man's death was so prolonged out was 100% because his heart, his desire, and what moves him forward. Tony Stark knows he's great. Tony Stark knows that he is meant to protect the world. Tony Stark knows that without him, the world can probably go on. Captain America, he's been around for a very long time. He's meant to protect his country. But he knows that if he goes away, America could probably move on. Peter Parker, Spider-Man, he knows what he's supposed to do. He knows that he's supposed to take care of his country, his neighborhood, the world, the universe. But he's not done yet. He's doing it for Tony Stark. He's finally hit the point where he feels like he can do something in this world. He finally has become an Avenger that day. That's my theory behind why Spider-Man was so much longer. Why Spider-Man's death lasted longer than anybody else's. Because he finally has hit the point where he could do something and it's trying to be taken away from him, and he does not want that to happen. Tony Stark, he's fine with passing away. Doctor Strange, he doesn't have the time stone to protect anymore. He's fine with going away. Everyone else has felt like, we lost. This is it. I failed. And they're fine losing their life. Peter Parker, he thinks he could still stop this. Which is why I think that because Robert Downey Jr. has not only stated he's done playing Iron Man, but that Iron Man is going to give himself up in a trade. Tony Stark, Iron Man, is going to give up his soul to bring back Spider-Man's. He's his mentor. He's taught him everything. And if Tony Stark gave up his life for Spider-Man, it gives not only a whole nother moral, a whole nother push for Spider-Man to do what is great, or to take over that mantle of the next Tony Stark, but it sets up this whole new character of trying to avenge someone else. Trying to move on from his Uncle Ben's death to now Tony Stark, who gave up his life for Peter Parker and his potential. Now, I understand that I kind of stated a lot of negative things about this movie and kind of moved on from that and told you what I believe about those different scenarios, but I do want to go back and say this movie was excellently done. The CGI, other than those two little mistakes that I pointed out, was masterful. There was not a single moment that I didn't feel like I was in that situation, feel like I was there watching it unfold. I've watched it twice, knew what was coming up, and still noticed little bits and pieces of things. Another interesting thing about this movie is you're captured, you're in. Once you sit down, and if you get into the movie, which I've heard everyone does in the first couple minutes, you're locked in and you're on the roller coaster of your life. You keep going, you get pissed off, you get sad. But everything, all of those emotions make you so... makes you know how great of a movie this is. The ending will make you sad. It'll make you pissed off. You'll be majorly disappointed in the end. But overall, it's worth it. I give this movie 9.5 cars out of 10. It's probably the highest rating I'm going to give to really any movie. Just be ready for when I review other movies that come out. Deadpool 2 is probably going to be my next one. In between, I'll probably do some of my favorite movies like Perks of Being a Wallflower, Remember the Titans, and just kind of give you the benchmark of what I love about movies. But Avengers is masterfully done. It's a long movie, but it's very worth the time, and it's amazing. Make sure you watch until the end credits scene. Alright, that's basically it for this video. I do want to just say a couple more things. I am going to be posting more frequently now. I wanted to get this video out, but due to just the corruption and losing all of the footage, it was really hard to put out. I'm starting this thing called Project 30. So shout out to Yes Theory, who did Project 30 down below. Go ahead and watch their playlist. It's a super short playlist. I mean, it's basically like a movie, and it's awesome to watch. It was 4 guys, got super close together through this Project 30. I'm doing it myself, but just so I can go out there and try to do things that I've never done before. But check them out. Amazing guys. I'd love to meet them one day, but I haven't yet, obviously. I'd love to meet them. I obviously haven't seen them yet. But check them out. That's probably going to be coming in about June. Up until then, I'm probably going to post a video a week. That's the goal. If I'm off of it, I'm sorry. And it's probably going to be throughout the different weeks, but probably plan on something between Sunday and Saturday every week in May and June until Project 30. Then it should be every single day there'll be a video out. Share this video if you liked it. If you haven't seen Infinity Wars, well, I'm sorry for all the spoilers, but you were warned. And go ahead and like this video, share it, comment something down below, comment why you agree, why you disagree, why I'm stupid, how you don't like my shirt, how you do like my shirt, whatever it might be. And if you want to see more, go ahead and click that subscribe button. If you want to, go ahead and click that bell too, because then you'll be notified whenever I post a video. So, as always, have a radical day. Stay awesome.
Who the hell are you guys?